coach Selena Slade, who's in her 23rd season, and her assistant TFC's only fourth-time first-team All-American Bethany Bauer. Let's meet your TFC Lady Eagles. Freshman middle hitter from Westminster, South Carolina, number 1, Abigail Smith. A freshman libero from Bethlehem, Georgia, number 3, Marissa Daniel. A freshman middle hitter from Clarksville, Georgia, number 4, Natalie Thompson. Junior outside hitter from Flower Branch, Georgia, number 6, Katie Branch. A freshman outside hitter from Kennesaw, Georgia, number 7, Heather Edgewater. A sophomore outside hitter from Millington, Ohio, number 8, Gabby Klinkman. A freshman outside hitter from Mount Airy, Georgia, number 9, Gracie Charles. Freshman outside hitter from Oxford, Florida, number 10, Erin Carey. A senior middle hitter from Corey, Pennsylvania, number 11, Caitlin Whitener. Sophomore outside hitter from Fairhope, Alabama, number 13, Teresa Sullivan. A junior middle outside hitter from Tampa, Florida, number 14, Caroline Miller. A sophomore setter from Estelle, Georgia, number 15, Kaylee Galore. And a sophomore BS from Laceville, Pennsylvania, number 16, Talia Hatch. Ladies and gentlemen, I suggest now please rise and move your caps for prayer, and then we'll get the match started. Dear Lord, once again, we want to thank you for bringing us here to the gym tonight to play volleyball, Lord. We just ask that you be with the ladies as they play. Keep them free from injury. Be with the fans in the stands. May they support without being derogatory, Lord. Just be with them and be with us. May everything we do in this gym tonight glorify you. In your name I pray. Amen.
Good evening and welcome back to Toccoa Falls College for Game 2 of this doubleheader. Welcome to Lewis Delaney Athletic Center. Tonight we have the TFC Screaming Eagles versus the Johnson Wales University Wildcats. First game we played today was at 12 o'clock. And we won 3 games to no games. 32-30 was the first game, 25-16 was the second game, and 25-23 was that last game that sealed the fate of the Pensacola Eagles. Looking for a pretty quick win today in this doubleheader. And thank you again for tuning in. I am Will Jones, voice of the Screaming Eagles, and we are almost ready for the first serve. On the court for your Screaming Eagles, we got number 6, Katie Hall. We got number 15, Kaylee Glore. Number 14, Caroline Miller. You got number 4, Natalie Thompson. And number 11, Caitlin Widener. And last but not least, number 13, Teresa Sullivan. And looks like both benches are ready. Referee's giving up the ball. Serving first, number 8, Reed for the Wildcats. Moana puts it over, fielded nicely. Widener with the slam just outside, and it's 1-0 the Wildcats. Reed for her second serve of the night. Deep into the back. And Miller's going to set it over. Almost got it down, little confusion. Nice save by number 2, Scott. We'll set it up, and off of number 8, Moana Reed's hands, point TFC. Substitution on the court. Hatch is coming in. And Talia Hatch is going to be our server. And this is the first serve for the Screaming Eagles. And it's a good one, too. Diving libero, number 14, Hallie Franklin, got to it over the net. We couldn't defend it. Looks like number 11, Caitlin Widener, tried to get there. Couldn't get it. And that point's going to go to the Wildcats. And Franklin is back to serve. Good dig. Widener puts it down there. Widener with the kill. And number 6, Katie Hall, is back to serve for the first time tonight for the Screaming Eagles. Here comes this drop serve. Beautiful, right to the back line. Good save in the back row as Steed put that one in. Glora puts it over. Recovered by the Wildcats. And another good save by Glore. I got it back over. They're going to try again. And we'll recover. I'll be on their side. Sullivan puts it in. Wildcats can't contain it. Great run by both teams, but TFC came on top. Katie Hall with her second serve of the night. And it's a beautiful one, just a little too much on it. It's going to go out of bounds, and we're tied 3-3. Serving for the Wildcats, number 6, Kidno Watson. Her first serve is deep into our back. Widener just kind of pushes it over, almost got him off. Wildcats recover. Tipped up front. Glore puts it up, and Thompson gets it over the net. Short set. Widener puts it down off of Barrios' hands, and that's a point for TFC. And Widener is back to serve for the first time tonight. Her first one, beautiful right to the libero. Good stop by her. Glora's going to try to get it over long, and it's in there! Put it right on the line, and Glore with a beautiful hit that baffled the Wildcats. Widener with her second serve with a 5-3 lead in the first game here. That one is, they're going to call redo. Looks like both line judges were baffled by that one. From up here, it looked like it hit the line. But they're going to do a reserve. Wildcats are not happy about that. They thought that it was out. But no point was given. And Widener is going to try this again. Timeout called by the referee. He's going to talk to the score table for a second. And we will take a short timeout. Looks like everything's taken care of. And Widener puts it over. Beautiful serve back to the libero. Hard slam, but recovered. The set by Hatch. And Sullivan puts it over. Wildcats recover. They'll try again. A little confusion right past Hatch. They'll get the point, 5-4. Screaming Eagles still have the lead. Ketchy, number 1. And number 17, Jamie Hayes, going to check in the game for the Wildcats. Is Carrie Ketchy. He's going to serve for the first time tonight. The set. And a big slam by number 4, Natalie Thompson. Beautiful hit with that kill right there. And that brings up Glore to serve for the Screaming Eagles. And there it is. Just a little too much on it. Right outside, it is 6-5. Screaming Eagles. Number 14, Hallie Franklin. Good set. Miller. puts it in. Barrios gets a little rebound off of it, and we'll set up. Little touch, and it's good by Thompson. Just touched it in there. Last touch by the Wildcats, and that's a score for the Eagles. Teresa Sullivan back to serve for the first time tonight. She gets it in play, and they're going to hit just a little too hard. And because of favor, we get the point. Sullivan, second serve of her night. To the back. They'll try to push it in. Gore gets one hand on it, shanks it into the crowd, and that's a point for the Wildcats. Number 2, Scott is going to be serving. It's going to hit the net. We recover. We got to get it over, and we do with Hall. Good dig. And that one's going to find some hardwood to hit. And it's a 1-point ball game. Tania puts it over. Glore sets it up. And Thompson tries to get it in. Good dig by the Wildcats as Daniel on the barrow gets it out. Hall puts it in there. Finds a spot and puts it in. And that's a point for the Screaming Eagles as number 4, Natalie Thompson, stepping back to serve for her first time. Her serve's in, back row. They'll set it up. And number 17, Jamie Hay with a kill right there. Tipped off one of our players. And we still have a 1-point lead. As number 8, Moana Reed is back to serve. Miller. A little too much bacon on it. Was it touched? They're going to say it was touched by back row. Point TFC.
Touch ball on Johnson Wales, point TFC.
Wildcats not happy with that call. And Hatch is going to check in and go to the back. Short serve. Little confusion on front row, and somehow the Wildcats get it over. And that was out of bounds. Point TFC. Good communication by the Screaming Eagles right there. Punched it over, and just not enough on it. Hits the net. And point goes to the Wildcats. 11-9 is your score. As number 14, Hallie Franklin, the libero, is going to be serving. Hers is going to be deep in backcourt. Little miscommunication with the Eagles is okay. Widener gets it in and puts it over. Last touch by number 10, Barrios, by the Wildcats. So Hatch and Galore kind of ran into each other right there. But it's okay, we got the point as Hall is going to serve. Just a little too much on it. It was out of bounds, and it's 12-10. Screaming Eagles lead. Hall has a cannon for an arm, and it's just hard to control it. Back row. Glore sets it up. Widener puts it down. Beautiful hit by Widener. Couldn't be contained by the Wildcats. And Widener's going to go back, and she's going to serve. Right on the net. Beautiful serve. Franklin gets it over. Sets up by Glore. On the other side was Sullivan. Beautiful diving catch by Franklin. Diving stop. And it's going to be out of bounds. Point to TFC with a 4-point lead. Widener's second serve is on the way. Back row. They'll set it up, but we will retrieve it. Sullivan puts it out of there. Few substitutions in for the Wildcats. Number 1, Carrie Ketchy is going to check into the game, and she'll be the server. Her serve is high to the back row. And Hall, way from downtown, couldn't get it over the net. And 14-11 is your score. Screaming Eagles playing pretty tight defense and offense right here. And beautiful diving stop by Hatch. Good dig on the other side. The setup. And Thompson tried to get it over. It's pushed right back at us. We'll try it again with Sullivan. Sullivan puts it in there. The libero picks it up. Slams it. And a good stop by Sullivan. The setup for Hall. Hall. Just inside. From up here, looked like it was out. Might have been not a great call from that line judge. Libero's going to approach the referee and see what's going on right there. But point was scored for TFC, 15-12. Glore will be serving. We did get awarded the point. Wildcats not happy. And Glore, beautiful serve to the back. Scott puts it in there. A valiant attempt by number 6, Katie Hall. Couldn't get a hand on it. And 15-13 is your score. This has been a really close game the whole time. Rainwater checks in for your Screaming Eagles. Barrios puts it in. Glore sets it up. Rainwater kind of knocks it over. And we'll set back up. Last touch by the libero. Daniel flies out of bounds. And it's going to be Wildcat volleyball. 1-point game here. Barrios. Good serve. The setup. Thompson got a hand on it. They'll try again. Good save by Hall to get it back in, and somehow Thompson gets it over the net, and we'll set up for round 2. That's 2 touches. Miller's going to call off Glore. She'll put it over. And great stop, but it goes out of bounds by, looks like Thompson and Rainwater. Blocked it from going over the net, but straight out of bounds, and it is tied up 15-15. Barrios for her 3rd serve in a row. She delivers. Daniel to Glore. Up top with Thompson. That one's blocked. Scott with the rejection. And for the first time, the Wildcats take the lead. Timeout call by the Screaming Eagles. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back, Eagles fans. After that short timeout, 16-15 is your score. Wildcats lead. High serve by Barrios. The setup, and Thompson goes the other way. Beautiful misconception by Thompson. Looks left, goes right, and she ties it up with Rainwater going to the back. Her first serve is in there. Scott puts it back over. The setup. Hall from the other side. And there's a shoe off, looks like. Number 6, Kendall Watson lost a shoe on that. Part of the reason they couldn't get that point. TFC will get it. 17-16 will take the lead. And Rainwater with her second serve. Middle of the court. Scott pushes it over. The setup. And number 10, Aaron Carey, who just stepped in, put it in. Good dig by number 1, Ketchy, on the other side. Carey's going to try it again. It's going to be in there, but it's going to hit the pole, which means it's out of bounds. Point goes to the Wildcats, and it's tied back up 17-all. Scott to serve. Miller sets it up. From the other side is Natalie Thompson again with a beautiful hit. Confusing the Wildcats, thinking she was going left. She put it right in there. Natalie Thompson is going to be serving. The setup, Widener pushes it over. Good dig, and we'll set back up for round 2. Miller sets it over, backcourt. Franklin sets it up. Last touch by Caroline Miller. It's going to go out of bounds, and we're tied back up at 18. Moana Reed serves it. Widener from the corner. Puts it in there. Right outside of the diving Franklin's grasp. Beautiful kill by Widener. And number 16, Talia Hatch, is going to check in, and she is going to be our server. It's going to be on the left side. They're going to fire away, but there's a double touch by the Wildcats, and that's a point for your TFC Eagles, who take the 2-point lead. Hatch puts it over. Beautiful serve. Almost had the libero fall over on that. Widener with the block. Denied that one. 21-18 is your score, and Hatch will have her third serve. Recovery by number 11, Steed, into the net. And that's another point for the Screaming Eagles. And we are on a roll. Timeout called by Johnson and Wales. We'll be back. Welcome back, Eagles fans. 22-18 is your score. Back to serve. Number 4 is Hatch. That's in there. The setup and then attempt is denied again by Widener. Widener with her second block of the game gives Hatch her 5th serve. Great run by the Screaming Eagles, so we can keep it up. They'll try again. Good dig by Hatch. Set up. Hatch is going to take it. And we'll get back and ready. To the back row. Floor. Way over to Rainwater, who's going to tip it. And they have to get it over on this one. And beautiful dig by Hatch. Keeps it alive. Push to the back is no good. That was Aaron Carey. And a great rally by both teams. But the Wildcats will get the point. Number 14, Hallie Franklin is going to be serving. Back row. Rainwater gets a chance, blocked by Steed. They're going to try it again with Rainwater. She's going to set it over and get ready. Gonzalez knocks it in there. 3-point game. The Screaming Eagle lead. Franklin, the libero, steps back for her second serve. The setup, Widener slams it down. Tipped off of number 10, it looked like, Barrios' hand. And it is set point here at Toccoa Falls. Number 10, Erin Carey back. She puts a beautiful serve in, almost can't be handled. And a great recovery by the Wildcats, but a beautiful serve. Rainwater knocks it over and way out of bounds. And 24-21 is your score. Number 6, Kendall Watson is going to sit back. It is still set point for the Screaming Eagles. A high set. Widener pushes it over. Recovered by the Wildcats. They're going to try to slam it in. And it's going to be inbounds. Point goes to the Wildcats, and it's now a 2-point game. Watson steps back. Set point here. Kaylee Gore sets it up. Widener tries to hit the coach, and it's now a 1-point game. Comeback train here for the Wildcats. Timeout call by the Screaming Eagles. We'll be right back. Welcome back to set point, 24-23. The serve by Watson is in. Glore sets it up. Rainwater puts it over the net. They're going to try to get the point right here. And Widener gets denied. We're going to try it again. This time with Hatch. And this was like a pretty good run for both teams. A little miscommunication, but we're good. And it's going to be hit. Amazing save by the Screaming Eagles. I have no clue they got that, but it ends with a spike from the Wildcats. They tied it up 24-24, and Watson is going to serve her 5th in a row. And almost got, looks like they got the ace. Great diving attempt. Could not get it, and they will take the lead, 25-24. It is match point for Johnson Wales. That one is outside. Saved by the line is the Screaming Eagles, as it is tied back up with Widener going to be serving. She sets up. Beautiful serve for the back row. Scott. Not a great set. Can they get it over? Carey finally gets it over. Beautiful save by Carey. They're going to try to slam it down. They're going to hit the net instead. Point, TFC. And it is set point for Widener. Caitlin Widener steps back. She sets up. And the serve to the back row. The attempt is no good. Sets it up. Thompson. And Thompson's going to try it again. It's going to be out of bounds. Was it touched, though? And it was tipped. That is set. 25-27. It was last touched by the Wildcats, and they are not happy with that. The call, though, was it was tipped out by Johnson and Wales. The libero, Hallie Franklin, is talking to the referee, seeing what's going on. The teams are not switching benches yet. We'll see what's going on. And there it is. We get the point, and we have set one. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Welcome back to Lois Delaney Athletic Center for set number 2 of the matchup between the Screaming Eagles and the Johnson and Wales Wildcats. Game 1 was won by your Screaming Eagles, 27-25. Thompson is back to serve. It's going to be blocked up front. Recovered by the Wildcats. Set by Glore. Hall puts it in there. Beautiful spike by Hall. And it is 1-0. Thompson puts it over for a second time. And Scott tries to put it in. Good dig. And it's going to be slammed down by Aaron Carey. Beautiful hit and teamwork by the Screaming Eagles as Thompson, her third attempt. Beautiful one. Good dig by number 13, Teresa Sullivan. And that one's in there by Hall! Great slam by Hall, her second this set. And it's 3-0. And the crowd for the Screaming Eagles got a little warning. They're up too close, and they will sit back down. And serve number 4 for Thompson. To the back. Hits the net. Good recover by Glore. And Widener will put it over off of Franklin. And it is 4-0. Number 6 is right in there. Excuse me, number 5. Widener tries getting there. The attempt by the Wildcats was very valiant. Will not fall, and it is 5-0. Thompson, serve number 6 is in there. To the back row, and just a little too much strength from Thompson back there. And Johnson and Wales will get their first point of this set. Number 14, Franklin, their libero, will serve. That one's up and over. Bad set by Hall. Is in an awkward position. It was too high to bump, but it was a little too low to set, so she kind of hits it into the ground. 5-2, and Franklin will have another shot. That was better. And Widener, just a little outside. 5-3 is your score, and Wildcats are making a comeback here. Just a little too much pepper on that one. 6-3. And number 16, Talia Hatch, will check in, and she will walk back to serve. Last time she was up, she went 5 in a row. Let's see if she can do it again. Good serve, gets over. Way off to the side. Good recover. Widener touches it over. Slam back down and touched last by number 5, Gonzalez. The point goes to number 15, Kaylee Glore, who just got all of that one. And Hatch will step back for attempt number 2. Short, and it's in there for the ace! Hatch takes a little off her fastball and puts it right in there in the middle of the court. Hatch, attempt number 3. Another good one. Scott from way downtown. Recovered. And Hall puts it in there! Hall with another slam. 9-3. And Screaming Eagles are starting to roll here. Hatch puts another good serve in there. Scott. Not a great set, but Barrios will recover it. Widener. Good save by Scott. Can they get it out? It's going to touch the pole out of bounds. And another point to TFC. Four in a row for Hatch. She puts that one in there. She has the only ace tonight. Great recovery in the back row. Glore all the way over to Hall, who just taps it over. Wildcats gets it over the net. Sullivan over, and Widener tries to get it in. Number 5, Gonzalez, who's 5'10", got a hand on that. Kendall Watson, number 6, will step back for the Wildcats, and she will serve it up. Good run by TFC right there. And Thompson from way back puts it over. And a hard hit coming in hot to Hatch. Couldn't be handled. Goes out of bounds. But TFC still has a nice 5-point lead. Watson puts it over. Hall. Widener this time is going to put it in there. Beautiful hit right there. 11-5 is your score. And Katie Hall will be serving. Jump serve will be in there. They set it up, and the attempt made by Madison Steed is just a little bit too much. Out of bounds. 12-5 is your score, and Hall will set back up for number 2. And it is too much to handle for Franklin. Goes into the net, and Hall is going to step back for attempt number 3, but before that, we have a timeout call by the Wildcats. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back, Eagles Nation. As Screaming Eagles are sitting on top, 13-5 on the Wildcats. Katie Hall with her 3rd serve this round. That one's going to be off Hatch, and point goes to the Wildcats. Serving for the Johnson and Wales University, Ketchy. Good save by Hall to get down there. Hatch at the back. And a beautiful attempt is going to work by Widener, excuse me. She spikes it down. It's going to be off of a defender of the Wildcats. Point TFC as Widener is going to step back for her serve. That one is over, and it flies out of bounds by Scott. Looks like it came off her right wrist and soared into the stands. 15-6. Widener with attempt number 3, and she'll recover it. Thompson sets it over and just out of bounds. Good discipline by number 6, Kendall Watson over there. That was really close, and she laid off. As Barrios is going to be serving for the Wildcats. Up and over. Glore is going to lift it, and it's going to be Wildcats. Serve is to the back. And handled by number 4, Gallant. Her first point tonight. And Kaylee Glore will step in to the server position. Nailed over is Thompson with that last point. The libero recovers. And Hall almost puts it in no man's land. Almost had a point right there. Beautiful touch by number 13, Teresa Sullivan. And she beautifully placed that ball. And Glore will have her second attempt. Good serve. Barely handled by the Wildcats. She'll set it over herself. Franklin. And it's time for Sullivan to get another point right there. And here comes Kaylee Glore with her third attempt over here. And number 1, Abigail Smith checks into the game. Sitting at 6 foot, tallest girl on the team. Glore. Attempt is just a little bit long, out of bounds, and it is 18-9. Screaming Eagles. And Gonzalez is back to serve. Good attempt by Abigail Smith. Smith gets off the bench, and the first thing she does is slam one down the throats of the Wildcats. 10-point lead for the Eagles. And Sullivan will serve it for the Eagles. Low dig and beautiful save by a libero, Daniel. They're going to set it up for Hall. And Scott's going to recover, but they can't get it over the net. And 20-9 is your score. Point, TFC. Sullivan with her second. Beautiful save by Daniel, diving out of bounds to get that one. Hall puts it over. And another diving attempt by Scott. And last touch by Kaylee Glore. Got one hand on it. And it's going to be point Wildcats. But TFC is enjoying a nice 10-point lead. Trying to win the second set here. Number 8, Moana Reed checks into the game, and she'll be your server. She delivers to the back row. Set up. Hall. Diving attempt by Scott. Beautiful save right there. And a huge slam by number 13, Favor. Great form right there. Got over the net and slammed it into the ground. Reed for her second serve. And it's a beaut. The setup for Hall. And a great save by Franklin. Good dig right there. Scott puts it in there. In between Daniel and Sullivan. And the lead is reduced to 8 for the Screaming Eagles. The setup by Glore. And Hall gives it to Scott again. Last touch by the Screaming Eagles, and that's a point for us, 21-12. And a little confusion with the bench. With Selena Slate, head coach, this is her 23rd season. She'll make a substitution, and Daniel, the libero, will serve for the first time tonight. Marissa puts it over. Fielded by Scott. Good block up front. And Amazing dive by Daniel. Can we get it over the net? No, we can't. Amazing effort by the Screaming Eagle, especially Daniel, who dove out of bounds and just didn't have enough strength to get it over the net. Hallie Franklin, the libero for the Wildcats, will serve it up. 21-13. Set up by Glore. Hall gets it to Scott again. She must really like putting it in that spot. As there's a battle up on the net. Finally gets it over, and a great save by the Screaming Eagles. Great teamwork. The setup. The slam is saved again by the Wildcats, and we're going to go another round. Here we go with Hall. In there! Finally, Hall finds some ground, and 22-13 is your score. Number 16, Talia Hatch checks into the game, and she will be the server. Beautiful serve, diving, received by Franklin, finds a hole, and they score. Number 6, Kendall Watson will step back to serve. The setup, and Hall is blocked at the net, and we can't get it back over. Number 10, Barrios, with the denial right there. And she got up pretty high. Timeout call by Toccoa Falls. We'll be back. Kendall Watson back for the Wildcats to serve. 22-15 is your score. Back row to Hall. Hall puts just a little too much pepper on it. And out of bounds. Screaming Eagles only need 3 more points to win this set. Number 7, Rainwater checks in for your Screaming Eagles. And beautiful spike by Widener. Caitlin Widener comes out of hiding, smacks one down, and Rainwater will serve. Beautiful serve, middle. Scott's going to try to push it over. Saved by Sullivan. Widener tries to get it in. Outside. 23-17 is your score. Is that Wildcat point? Ketchy and Hay will check in for the Wildcats. And Gracie Charles, number 9, freshman, 5'4", out of Mount Airy, Georgia, will check in for your Screaming Eagles. It's Ketchy. You'll serve it up. Beautiful attempt by Rainwater, and they got it over and in. Point TFC, and it's that time again. It is set point. Back to serve, number 11, Pennsylvania, Caitlin Widener. And it's up. Beautiful serve, but not enough on it, and it's going to slam into the net. 24-18, but it's still set point. Screaming Eagles looking to hit 2 games right here. And that one's going to fall short. Kaylee Glore set up on the right side, and it was hit to the left side. Barrios back to serve one more time. Still set point here, 24-19. Rainwater. And Daniel and Glore had a little miscommunication. And it's now a 4-point game, 24-20, where it's still at set point though. Barrios into the net, and that is 25-20. And set 2 goes to your Screaming Eagles. We'll be back in a few minutes with set 3. Can we sweep them? We'll find out. Welcome back, Eagles Nation, to game number 3 of Toccoa Falls College versus Johnson Wales. TFC is taking the first two. 27-25 was the first one, and 25-20 was the second one. Both close games, and TFC looking to sweep the Wildcats. Back to serve for the Wildcats, number 8, Juana Reed. Glore over to Smith, who finds some real estate and sets up shop. And number 16, Talia Hatch, will check in for the Screaming Eagles, and she will serve. Her first serve is in there. Beautiful diving attempt by Charles, who saves it. And it looks like Franklin might have saved our Eagles right there, as that one smacked down by Widener. It looked like that last ball was going out of bounds. Hallie Franklin jumped up and got a hand on it, and it saved the Eagles as Hatch is going for round 2. Beautiful serve, barely touched by Franklin, but a great attempt. That one's touched twice. Can we get it over? No, they can't. And it's going to go to the Screaming Eagles. Hatch, attempt number 3 is up and over. And number 5, Gonzalez tried to tap it over, not enough on it. It's going to fall right back at her. And point goes to Toccoa Falls. Beautiful hit, but not enough on it. It's going to hit the net, and 4-1 is your score. Number 14, Hallie Franklin, the libero for the Wildcats, will be serving. All the way over to Carey. Puts that in there. And great save, but not enough on it from Hatch. It was a bad exchange from Charles. Hatch dives out of the way, gets a hand on it, but sails it into the stands. And Franklin will put a second serve in. Glore sets it up. Widener puts it in there. Steed tried to contend, but no one contend against number 11. Carey back to serve. Her first serve tonight. She throws it up and slams it into the backcourt. Barrios puts it in there. A little miscommunication, looks like maybe by Carey and Charles in the backfield. Number 6, Kendall Watson, is back to serve for the Wildcats. High throw. Great attempt by Charles. And Glores is going to pop it over. Another diving attempt. By that time, Charles and Hatch. And they're going to set up. See if they have round 2 of this. And that one's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Thompson. Excuse me, last touch by Rainwater. Watson hits that one and about 2 feet out. And Widener is going to be your server. 6-4 is your score. And Widener just puts a little too much bacon on it. And it's a 1-point game. Number 1, Carrie Ketchy checks in for the Wildcats, and she will stand back. And number 4, Natalie Thompson checks in for the Screaming Eagles. Ketchy delivers. And they thought it was out. Looks like the call was made by Talia Hatch. She thought it was going to be out. And when laid off, but it was about 5 inches inside. And we got a tie ball game. Good diving save. And Glore reaches over the top, puts it into the backcourt. And she will take the lead, and then she will be the server. Kaylee delivers. Hits the net and goes over, and that's an ace. We'll take it either way. Kaylee Glor's third ace today, first of this match. And there it comes to the backcourt. Scott tries to hit it over, and great save by Daniel, but it goes into the bench. Daniel with a one-handed save, and Sullivan tried to retrieve it, but just a little too outside. Miller, who checks in, will set it over. And diving attempt and put over by Sullivan. That one's going to be a point for the Wildcats, but Sullivan dives to touch it and then gets back up and pushes it over. Good hustle. Barrios puts it over. And just not enough power to Toccoa Falls right now. And with that, the lead goes to the Wildcats. First time in a while, 9-8. Screaming Eagles looking to make up some points right here. Beautiful serve set up by Glor. Miller pushes it over, and it is in. Miller ties it up. And number 7, Haley Rainwater will step back to serve. Mid-court. The block by number 4, Natalie Thompson. Can't get the receive, though. And we're still trailing 10-9. Number 2, Scott. Good serve. Right at the net. Glor saved it, and Rainwater pushed it over, and we live to see another day. The setup, the attempt was by number 4, Thompson. It was rejected, and we're going to set it up again. Good rally. Desperation hit. Gets it over. And tipped by number 10, Aaron Carey, and point goes to TFC, and that ties it up 10-10. As Daniel the libero checks out, Widener checks in, and number 4, Natalie Thompson out of Clarksville, Georgia, will be your server. Referee gives the signal, and she puts it over. Good night. Jamie Hay comes off the bench and slams that one down our throats. Wow. And Jamie Hay's going to sit back down. The attempt was made by Glor to try to save that one. Can't get it. And 12-10 is your score. Wildcats leading. Moana Reed serves it. That one is out. And TFC trying to make a comeback right here. Number 16, Talia Hatch, is going to check in, and she is going to be our server. Good serve. Franklin. They'll slam it down with number 13, Favor. Just like that, they're back up by 2 with the libero. Franklin is going to be the server. She gets it over. Widener smacks it down, The attempt was made, but not enough by Reed, and point goes to TFC as number 10, Aaron Carey, will be the server. Long serve to the corner. Set up by Glore. Carey puts it in there. Back over the net. Good diving attempt. And Widener just outside. Missed the line by about 2 to 3 inches. 14-12, Wildcats. Number 6, Kendall Watson. Rainwater with that attempt. The putback by Glore looks like. Last touched by Rainwater, and the point goes to the Wildcats. Down by 3 of the Screaming Eagles right here. And ready to go. Good dig. Rainwater. Beautiful little tap there by Widener. And the slam by number 10, Boreas, makes it a 16-2 lead. Timeout called by the Screaming Eagles, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, Eagles fans. Good timeout used by head coach Selena Slate right there to regroup her girls and try to break the momentum of the Wildcats, who is up 16-12. And the serve by Watson is out of bounds. So it looks like Slate iced Watson, and it worked. Widener is going to be the server for the Screaming Eagles. And there it is. The set. And the attempt was made, but Rainwater is going to try it. Glore got a hand on that. Couldn't get it back over the net. And 17-13 is the score. As number 3, Marissa Daniel, the libero, will check in for your Screaming Eagles. On the other side, number 1, Carrie Ketchy, will be the server. Great slam by number 4, Natalie Thompson. Puts that one down. And see if we can get some points back here as Katie Hall checks in. And Kaylee Glore will be the server. Caroline Miller also checks in. Glore gets it over. She'll set it up. Here comes Hall. It's going to be blocked by number 2, Scott. But it's going to go out of bounds, and that'll be TFC ball, 17-15. And Glore will make her second attempt. Beautiful serve. And Hall, or excuse me, number 4, Thompson, puts it down. Thompson again touches it for the third time. And Hall is going to set it over, just got it over. And here comes Miller with the attempt. Good diving stop by Hay. And they set it up for Thompson. He's going to smack right back down, and they saved it again. Glore tries to get it over and puts it into the net. 18-15. Great rally by both teams. Glore just couldn't get over the net. Number 10, Barrios, will serve for Johnson and Wells. And Thompson shoves it down there. Makes it a 2-point game as number 6, Katie Hall, will be your server. Awesome jump serve is in there. Franklin gets it back over. The setup. Carey couldn't get in there, but this time she does. Finds the corner and gets the point. 1-point ball game. Hall with her second serve. To the back row. Set up. And here comes Carey with another good attempt. Thompson, last touch by number 6, Kendall Watson, and she knew it as soon as she touched it that she shouldn't have. And with that, we tied this game up, 18-18. Here comes the Screaming Eagles, led by Katie Hall. Slams it under the net this time. And there goes the lead. Number 2, Scott, will be your server. High serve. Gives us a little time to set up. All the way over the other side was Thompson. And it looks like that might have been a joint effort by Favor and maybe, let's say, Faber and Gonzalez. They got a hand on that. Timeout called by the Screaming Eagles. We're down by 2. We'll be back. Welcome back, Screaming Eagles. In set number 3 of the matchup of the Wildcats and the Eagles. The setup and the set over, I guess, by Thompson. And number 17, Jamie Hay, will just kind of touch that one in, find some real estate. Scott, I believe this is attempt number 3 or 4 for her. She has the lead, 21-18. And the slam by Carey cannot be handled. Goes out of bounds, and it's TFC point and volleyball. Thompson up to serve. High serve to the back. Hall calls for it. Excuse me, not Hall. Hay calls for it. Last touch by the Screaming Eagles. 22-19 is your score. As number 8, Moana Reed, out of Springs Lake, North Carolina, steps up, and she will hit it over. Glore puts it over. The smackdown attempt by Steed is no good. That'll be a point for us, and we're only 2 down. As number 16, Talia Hatch, checks in. Beautiful serve, handled by Franklin. And the slam by number 13, Favor. And And it's a 3-point ball game, 23-20. And the libero, Hallie Franklin, will step back to serve. The setup. And the safe attempt by Carey. Gets it in there. Wow, finds the back corner to put it in there. Miracle hit by Carey. And the Wildcats are not happy with the line judge call. But number 13, Teresa Sullivan, will be the server. This is her first serve in a while. Gets it to the back row. And Glore saves it. Still up in the air. Widener gets it over. Beautiful save by the Screaming Eagles. They're going to try it again. Last touched by Screaming Eagles. Point goes to the Wildcats. And that makes set point 24-21. Number 6, Kendall Watson, a freshman out of South Carolina, will put set point in play. Glore sets it up. Widener smacks it down. Great save by Widener. Makes it a 2-point game. And here we come. See if we can get this lead back. Set point is still active for the Wildcats. Widener delivers. That one is out. And it is now a 1-point game. If TFC makes this point, we'll take away the set point, and we'll try it again. Timeout called by the Wildcats, and we will be back. (24-23), Wildcats lead right here. Widener back for her third attempt, Trying to tie it up right here. That one's going to get down, and this set will go to the Wildcats. That makes the score 2-1 with the Wildcats behind. We're not in sudden death yet, so if Screaming Eagles win this match, win the set, we'll win the match. If we lose, we'll go to sudden death. We'll be back in a few minutes to see what happens. Welcome back, Eagles fans, to Toccoa Falls College for set number 4 of this volleyball match between TFC Screaming Eagles and the Johnson Wales Wildcats. First game was won by the Screaming Eagles, 27-25. Second set was 25-20, again won by the Screaming Eagles. And last game, JWU took their first win, 25-23. And this was the first set lost by the Eagles this season. They shut out the first opponent today of Pensacola Christian. And it looks like they're going to shut out JWU until last set. Final substitutions in. And I believe we're about ready to play set number 4. TFC will be the server. And it's going to be number 4, freshman Natalie Thompson. She gets it over, and they will not be able to contend. And 1-0 TFC. Thompson with serve number 2 to the back. And they'll be blocked by Miller. And looks like Widener and Miller got some hands on it, pushed it down. And it's 2-0. Screaming Eagles. Pushed over by Miller. Tried again, and she got it in there. And Miller back-to-back denials. Serve number 4 is up and in for Thompson. And again, it's going to be hit, but it looks like there's a double hit. Excuse me, the 4th hit on the Wildcats. 4-0. And Thompson, with her 5th serve, gets an ace. Beautiful shot. And that's Thompson's first ace today and her first ace of the season. And she is on fire right now. Gore sets it up. Hall puts it to Scott, who receives it. And that one is out of bounds. Natalie Thompson out of Clarksville, Georgia, with her 7th serve in a row. And lucky number 7 was in there as Scott slams it into the net. And right now we're working on a shutout. And there it is. Good dig by the Gore. Hall just outside, and the first point will be scored by the Wildcats, but not after Thompson gets 8 in a row. Back to serve is number 14, Hallie Franklin, the libero. Fielded by number 6, Katie Hall, and she's going to slam it down off the net. Received by the Wildcats, and they'll get it right back over. And the attempt was made by Widener, denied by number 11, Madison Steed, for the Wildcats, and is now 7-2. As the libero out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, will serve it up. That one was way outside by about 3 feet. And that will be a TFC point, as number 16, Talia Hatch, will check in, and she will be the server. Looking for another roll right here is Hatch. Puts it over. That one's out of bounds. The attempt was made on number 5, Ty Gonzalez. And Hatch will get another attempt. That one's about middle. And the slam attempt was denied. Laura pushes it over. The setup. And the slam by Widener. Another beautiful slam by number 11, Caitlin Widener. Hatch with her third. Beautiful shot to Scott. And a great diving stop by Thompson. They're going to give it to Widener. And they will not be able to get it over in 3 attempts. And that's a point for your Screaming Eagles. 11-2 is the score. Hatch is on a roll. She does a short one and gets the ace. Talia Hatch with her second ace this game. And she just took a little off the fastball, threw the changeup, and got the point. 10-point lead for the Screaming Eagles. She smacks that one in. And Gonzalez made the attempt. Hall. And that one slammed down by number 10, Barrios. That's her first slam this set. 12-3 is your score. And number 6, Kendall Watson, is up to serve. Great save and pushover by Katie Hall. And we saved that one. And the denial by Widener. Couldn't get it over the net, though. Widener denied by Scott, but it goes out of bounds. And that is a point for TFC. Katie Hall out of Flowery Branch, Georgia, will serve it up. That one was touched last by the Wildcats, and that's an ace. As her first ace tonight and first ace of the season. Here's number 2. Good dig. And Glora's going to knock it over. And the Screaming Eagles are rolling along with a 15-4 lead as Katie Hall will serve her 4th in a row. And that was a bullet right to the net. Jamie Hay and Carrie Catchy will check in as Catchy will be your server out of Statesville, North Carolina. She's a junior. Set up by Glore. Over to the other side with the slam is Sullivan. And back to serve is number 11, Caitlin Widener. Great serve to the back. Fielded by Scott. And the setup will be for Hall. And looks like Scott got a hand on it, pushed it back down. And number 10, Barrios will be the server. Thompson's going to touch it over. And they will send it right back to us. As Sullivan makes the attempt. And will be denied. 16 to 7 is the score. TFC looking to win this match with a set. The setup. Thompson tries to tip it over. Scott with the rejection. We tried to save it. Daniel cannot get it over the net, and there's another point awarded to the Wildcats. So Katie Hall put it up. Little miscommunication with Kaylee Glore, who didn't see it coming, and it went down. And Glore is going to get some perspiration off the floor. And we are ready to go. The 5'10" sophomore is ready to serve. High serve to the back. It's set up. Thompson tries to slam it down. Another block by Scott, who is all over the net. And number 1, Abigail Smith, is going to check into the game. 16-10 is your score. Still with the lead. The Screaming Eagles trying to get this ball back. Glore sets it up. Sullivan tries to get it in. And another tag team block by Scott and Hay. Scott 5'9", and Hay at 5'10", one of the tallest girls on the court. And timeout call by the Screaming Eagles. We'll be back. Welcome back, Screaming Eagles, as the Wildcats have gone on about a 6 or 7-0 run here, as the momentum has shifted, and that one cannot be handled by Glore. 16-12, and volleyball is all about momentum. Who has the momentum is going to score the points. We had it earlier and went on an 8-0 run, and here it is, 7-0 run, 16-12. Glore smacks it over and finds a hole. Great placement by Kaylee Glore, as she will be the server. Kaylee Glore, a sophomore out of Austell, Georgia. The setup, and the slam is no good by number 6, Kendall Watson. And Glore will have attempt number 2. Great serve to the back. Scott airballs it. Saved by Glore. And a whiff by number 3, Marissa Daniel, a libero. Makes it 18-13. Back to serve is number 2, Scott, a sophomore. Puts it deep into the territory. Diving try by Teresa Sullivan, but hits it right into the wall. We still have a 4-point lead, though, as Scott lines up and has her second serve, which is a little shorter. And Miller will try to get it over. And just not a great set by number 17. Jamie Hay put a little too much on it. And Favor was not able to grab that one. Sullivan back to serve. That one's up. Good save by Glore. Last touch by the Wildcats. And that is point TFC. And Sullivan, with her second serve in a row, is a beautiful one to the back. And last touched by number, I think 11 looked like, which was Madison Steed. No, excuse me, number 1, Carrie Ketchy. Our point. And here comes Sullivan again. Look, there's tipped up front, but Hall couldn't get there in time. 21-15 is your score. As number 8, Moana Reed, a 5'8 freshman out of Spring Lake, North Carolina, will be the server. The setup, and looks like Hall tried to push it over, but it was denied by number 5, Ty Gonzalez. Reed will be back to serve again. To the back. And Smith tries to get it in there. Great diving return by the Wildcats. That one's back over there. And Favor puts it in play. Hall puts it right back over, and this is a pretty good run right here. Widener somehow gets a hand on that. Smith puts it over. It's going to be back and forth. That one's high enough to get set up. And here it comes. Smith just missed the corner. And there was a violation by the Wildcats. Point TFC. Number 3, Marissa Daniel, the libero, will check in, and she will be your server. The set and the slam. Good job by Kaylee Glore to dig that one out. They're going to try it again, and number 11, Madison Steed, is going to find some real estate. 22-17, and this game is going to go down to the line. Serving for JW is number 13, Favor. She's a freshman out of South Carolina, coming in at 5'7". Her first serve is up and over. And retained by Miller. Diving stop by Scott. Another great save by Sullivan, but it won't receive a point. 22-18. Favor back to serve again. We'll get it up. And Widener can't get it over the net. And the Wildcats are making a comeback here. 22-19. And timeout called by the Screaming Eagles. Head coach Slate wants to talk to the girls. We'll be back. Welcome back to Lois Delaney Athletic Center, where it's coming down to the last few points right here. 22-19 is your score. Screaming Eagles have the lead as they put that one in there! And that one will be awarded to the Screaming Eagles. 23-19 as Talia Hatch, designated server, will check in, and she's going to go to work. Earlier in the game, she had a 6-0 run. Let's see if she can get a couple right here. The set. They deliver. But we're going to slam it right back down their throats. Great job to receive. Allen's out of bounds. No tip. And 24-19. And guess what time it is? Set point. 24-19. Here we go. Talia Hatch, a sophomore out of Pennsylvania, will put it in play. This is the match right here. Last touch by the Screaming Eagles. Going to go out of bounds. 24-20. It is still match point here. It's number 6, Kendall Watson, is going to drop back to serve. Match point right here. And she puts it in. Great save to the back with Hatch. Gore sets it up. Hatch puts it in and blocked by number 2, Tiny Scott. And somehow she got a hand on that. Push it right back down. 24-21. Match point. Coming right at you. It's up and over. The setup. Hatch is going to set it over. And we're going to reset to see if we can get something here. And Scott will find the hole and put it in it. 2-point lead for the Screaming Eagles. Match point version 3 is on its way. The setup. Here comes Hall. That one's going to be out of bounds. That one was a little wide, and TFC will get the match. 25-22 is your final score. 3-1. A great game here, and the Screaming Eagles will come on top. What a game played by both teams. And the Screaming Eagles are 2-0 on the season. I am Will Jones, voice of the Screaming Eagles, signing off. We'll see you next time.